My name is Ian and welcome to my gardening channel Planted on YouTube. There are few areas in gardening more confusing than pruning, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use your pruning clippers properly so that you don't end up butchering your beautiful plants. The clippers I've been using for decades are made by Felco. The nice thing about Felco is that they have a wide range of replacement parts. This Christmas though, my sister-in-law bought me a brand new set of Felco clippers, and everything about them is crisper, cleaner, there's a smoother action, and they are also much sharper. The point I want to make here is that once you've got a good pair of clippers, the act of pruning becomes so much easier. And rather than going out there now and start hacking away, I want you to practice. I want you to practice this on pencil-size thickness branches using the top third of the blade. Start cutting. Start making smooth, repeatable cuts. Let's take a closer look. They come with a blade lock so that you protect that very sharp blade from cutting you or plants unknowingly. They're a bypass design, that is that the sharp blade passes on the side of the lower jaw for a nice crisp cut, and I will often cut back to a point and then make my final cut as you see here. But here's a trick. If you are cutting material on the right hand side of the stem that you want to keep, that puts that cutting blade further away. This is what you need to do. I want you to rotate the clippers in your hand and move that blade nearer to the cutting surface. It's very easy, and you'll be wondering why you didn't know this before. This fig is my subject for this pruning demonstration. Figs are notorious for dieback, and this one is no exception. Now this is a larger branch of about 1.5 inches diameter where it will get cut, and that's too big for these clippers to manage. Because I know that this branch is going to be removed, this is where you can practice your cutting. I don't want you to think that you need to find the perfect place to cut and make one cut. You'll frequently see me start probably midway and work my way back to the stem where I want my final cut. This is a technique that I would encourage you to copy. You don't shoot for perfection out of the gate because you won't get it. You see me here making multiple cuts, reviewing what's left and moving back into the plant. That way I get a nice clear view and I'm not trying to see through different branches. Now why prune in the winter time? Well, the plant has not yet started to take in nutrients and have the buds swell. So by pruning now, I can do my pruning and all that goodness can stay in the plant ready for when spring comes. The other main reason is that all the foliage is dropped and I've got a clear view. I can see dieback very clearly that I can remove. I can see branches that are leaning against the wall that are now distorted. And I can also get down to these suckers, which are notorious with growing figs and many other plants, and I can take a moment to remove them. So let me encourage you to bother to get good clippers. Good clippers and then bothering to practice. And your pruning endeavor is a whole new experience. It is something that won't fill you with dread and fear. And you'll start to look at structure and fruiting points and flowering points and last year's wood and this year's wood. But that's all to come. What we're doing here is just practicing using our clippers. And here we've got a close-up. I want to do a right-handed cut, so I rotate the clippers and the sharp edge of the cutting blade is now up against the stem. Do understand that pruning is an ongoing process. Here I'm focusing on winter pruning, and I'm showing you how to practice on small sized branches and get the technique down. But the pruning that I'm doing on this fig tree now is probably about 80 to 85% of what it will need in the earlier part of the year. It's by no means finished. And don't think that just because you're pruned, that's it, you can't go back and do some more. Undoubtedly there'll be more branches that I will work on this plant as we get into spring and then going into summer. So it's not one and done. The next thing that I want to talk to you is that These clippers will work on figs, they'll work on vines, they'll work on dahlias, they'll work on tomatoes, they'll work on pretty much every plant in your garden up to a diameter of about 3/4 of an inch. Don't try and cut heavy, dense things with them because you can twist the blade. I have done it very rarely because they're so strong, but you want to keep these sharp, and do put a little bit of oil on the spring and the blade when you're not using them. They make a wonderful present. If you know somebody that's big into gardening, get them some Felco clippers and show them this video. Tell me your pruning stories in the comments below. Bye for now.